Welcome! In this video, you will practice currencies, exchange rates, and splitting money into different currencies at a bank. Listen for currency names, amounts, and the questions people ask when they are not sure what is best. Let's begin.
Good morning. How can I help you today?
Good morning. I'd like to exchange some money, please.
Of course. What currency do you have, and what currency would you like to exchange into?
I have euros, and I'm thinking about changing them into another currency, but I'm not sure which one.
No problem. We can look at the options together. How much would you like to exchange?
I have 600 euros to exchange today.
All right. First, just so you know, we exchange several common currencies here. The main ones are US dollars, British pounds, and Swiss francs. We also exchange Canadian dollars and Australian dollars. For Asian currencies, we can exchange Japanese yen and Chinese yuan. And of course, we also work with the Singapore dollar.
That's a lot. So if I wanted, I could choose more than one?
Yes, absolutely. Many customers prefer that, especially if they want to reduce risk or keep flexibility.
Okay, before we decide, could you quickly explain the exchange rate?
Sure, the exchange rate tells you how much of one currency you get for another. For example, today, 1 euro equals 1.1819 US dollars. Today, the euro to US dollar rate has moved between 1.1766 and 1.1822.
Do the rates change often?
Yes, they can change daily and sometimes during the day. Also, the bank charges an exchange fee.
How much is the fee?
It is usually a percentage of the amount, depending on the currency and the service. For cash exchange, today the fee is 3%.
So if I exchange more money, the fee is higher?
Yes, because it is a percentage, but the rate and the fee are always written on the receipt.
I see. I don't want to put everything into one currency. I'm worried the rate might change and I'd like to have options.
That makes sense. In that case, a split exchange could be a good idea.
Split exchange?
Yes, it means you divide your euros into parts and exchange each part into a different currency.
Great. Can we do that with 600 euros?
Yes, you can choose any split you want.
Okay, maybe like this. 200 euros into US dollars, 200 euros into British pounds, and 200 euros into Japanese yen.
That's a very common split. Let me check the rates for those currencies. All right, today's rates are on the screen. For 1 euro, the rate is 1.1819 US dollars. For 1 euro, the rate is 0.8692 British pounds. For 1 euro, the rate is 185.38 Japanese yen. And today's ranges are US dollars between 1.1766 and 1.1822, British pounds between 0.8673 and 0.8713, and Japanese yen between 184.37 and 185.42. Before I continue, would you like all of the money in cash?
Yes, in cash, please.
Okay, please note cash exchange includes the fee. So just to confirm, you would like to exchange 200 euros into US dollars, 200 euros into British pounds, and 200 euros into Japanese yen. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. One more thing. I'm curious, why do some currencies use such large numbers?
That's because some currencies, like the yen, have a much lower value per unit. It's normal, but it can feel strange the first time.
Interesting. I'll keep the split we said, but it's good to know. What about Canadian dollars and Australian dollars? Are they similar to US dollars?
They are both called dollars, but they are different currencies. Canadian dollars and Australian dollars are not the same as US dollars. Some people like them as alternatives, but the rates are different from US dollars.
So I shouldn't assume they're the same.
Exactly. Even if currencies have the same name, their values and exchange rates can be very different. That's why it's always important to check the rate before exchanging money.
I've seen that some currencies can change a lot in a short time. Is that true?
Yes, some currencies are considered strong and stable, like the Swiss franc or often the US dollar. They usually change, but not as wildly.
And what about currencies that change more?
Some emerging currencies can be less stable and their rates can move quickly. For example, the Turkish lira has sometimes changed a lot. That doesn't mean it's bad, but it can be riskier if you need stability.
So if I want stability, Swiss francs make sense.
Yes, many people choose Swiss francs for that reason, but it always depends on your goal and the market. All right, shall we proceed with the original split exchange?
Yes, please.
Great. Please show me your ID and then sign here.
Here you are.
Thank you. Here is your cash and your receipt. On the receipt, you can see the amounts, the rates, and the exchange fee.
Perfect. Thank you for explaining everything clearly.
You're welcome. If you want, next time you can also exchange into Chinese yen or Singapore dollars, depending on what you need.
Good to know. Have a nice day.
You too. Goodbye.
Vocabulary and expressions. Let's learn some interesting words and expressions from our story to improve our English skills. To exchange money means to change one currency into another, usually at a bank or an exchange office. For example, you might say, "I would like to exchange money before I travel abroad." Exchange rate. The exchange rate is the value of one currency compared to another. It shows how much you get when you exchange. For example, the exchange rate tells you how many dollars you get for €1. Exchange fee. An exchange fee is an extra amount of money that a bank or exchange office charges for changing currencies. For example, the exchange fee is written on the receipt. Cash exchange. Cash exchange means exchanging money and receiving physical cash instead of money in your bank account. For example, cash exchange is often more expensive than card payments. Split exchange. A split exchange is when one amount of money is divided and exchanged into several different currencies. For example, a split exchange lets you hold more than one currency. Reduce risk. To reduce risk means to act in a way that lowers the chance of losing money or facing problems. For example, many people split their money to reduce risk. Keep flexibility. To keep flexibility means to stay in a position where you have choices and can adapt easily. For example, holding different currencies helps you keep flexibility when traveling. Strong and stable currency. A strong and stable currency is a currency that does not change quickly and is trusted over time. For example, the Swiss franc is considered a strong and stable currency. Emerging currency. An emerging currency is a national currency that is becoming more important in international trade and investment as the country's economy develops, but it is not yet widely trusted or stable. For example, emerging currencies can offer opportunities, but they are often less stable. Great work today! Don't forget to subscribe for more enjoyable English lessons. Happy learning, and see you next time.